Well, John, we're the early kick-off on Saturday here against Notts County. I'm sure you've looked at clips and what we might expect. What kind of match are you expecting?
Again, I'm going to go down the old cliche route, aren't I? You know, everyone says it. Luckily, I went to watch Notts County just over the Christmas period. I saw them play at Salford. And the results and the performances have improved since then. So, whoever you play at home, we've got to make it more difficult for them than what they do to us. And whilst you do your homework on them and you're mindful of their threats, you really have to focus on your own performances. At home, that's what we're going to be doing on Saturday. We'll be looking to try and get our act together and try and score our first goal of our own volition of the year.
What have you made of the division this year? Is it tougher? Is it more competitive? What do you make of League Two in general?
I've watched a lot of games and I think the standard isn't as good as what it was. But having said that, I was only in League Two, for up to March last year. The previous 5 we were in League One, so it's difficult to judge it over a period of time. There's a lot of goals getting scored in League Two, which tells you the strikers are good and the strikers are capable of punishing you. And so you've got to be mindful of that. But you've also got to try and score yourself. And as a home fan, I'm wanting us to make chances to score goals. And as a manager, that's what I want to do.
Just a bit of housekeeping, injury-wise, is it the same squad from Tuesday, or can you welcome back 1 or 2?
I think we'll have Jimmy Morgan back. Don't know whether we'll have Nev back. Don't know whether we'll have Ethan Coleman back. Aaron Rowe was ill. He's over that.
And Colin Masterson, I guess.
Conor's just a little bit away. I just had a chat with Conor there before. He's just a little bit away. So, yeah, we'll know more tomorrow on who'll be fit enough to play.
Lovely. John, thank you. Ben, all yours.
Just on Elliot Nevitt, what is his injury?
It was just an impact injury. So he got one on either foot on Saturday. So he got a bang on his left foot, and then he got a bang on his, I don't know where it's one of his toes on his right foot. It could be vice versa. But he's open to be available Saturday. Hoping to. I don't know whether he will be.
And then obviously Ethan, you had him in your squad last Saturday, but was that quite a late injury then that he picked up?
Yeah, it was one of them. He travelled and he'd felt it in training on Friday, and it had tightened up on the coach, and so with that type of injury you don't want to make it worse. So we'll see how it settles down this week.
And hoping to possibly have any more new faces in your squad. I think Gillingham have signed a player every Friday for the last 3 weeks.
That Friday feeling. We are ongoing trying to sign players. I'm hopeful to have at least a couple in by Monday. Whether it's early enough for them to play on Saturday is a different matter, or be involved on Saturday, but I am open to bring a couple in.
We linked with a couple of defenders from Scotland in the window. Is centre-half a position you're looking at?
You let me know where they are? No, I know where they are. Yeah, it is. But we're looking all over, and as I said earlier on, when I first came, football's a mad industry that you can do well and yet people are still trying to replace you. Someone's always trying to get better than you, so and that's the nature of the beast, and you've got to always look to try and improve the squads window by window.
Because you have got good numbers, I guess, and most positions covered, so is it just a case of trying to add better quality?
Well, there's no point adding if you're not going to improve the squad. That should be the norm. We have got decent enough numbers, so we're not strapped for not having enough on the bench or having to call on the youth team players. Although we have got a healthy youth squad, And we had a fruitful game today with the lads who hadn't been playing much against the youth team, which was good, and it was good for me to get proper eyes on the youth team as well. And Joe and Brian do a great job with them. So, yeah, I'd like to get better players in, or players that can make a difference to the way our season's going to pan out.
Or I guess players that are going to suit the style of football that you...
Well, correct. And I think we have got the makings of it here. Hopefully we can keep reinforcing the way we want to play. I think there was big signs of that in the second half on Tuesday, and hopefully we'll carry it on.
You were obviously quite raw almost on Tuesday after the game, and very much took it upon yourself, the result. How have the players kind of reacted to that? Because, you know, I'd imagine that they're quite appreciative, really, the way that you sort of took that on.
I don't know how they've responded to it, really. I haven't spoken to many of them about it. I stand by what I said. You know, it was a decision that was, we had to make it quickly. I chose to try and keep them up the pitch when I had a ready-made left back that I could push Shad back inside. I could have put Robbie back inside. I could have just put Max on the left wing. I could have gone to 5 at the back by putting Max on. So I should have put a defender on, I didn't, and that's my fault and nobody else's. I'm not going to hide behind that. I feel as though I have played a big part. I know there was certain mistakes that I didn't make that led to the goal, but I think I've played a huge part in us not having 3 points, and it's a mistake I won't make again, or I will be guarding against making again. I can't say I won't make it again, but over the years I haven't made too many like that. I can't. I've probably owned up to play. I've spoke to probably certain individuals and said I've done the wrong thing there in the substitutions, either taking someone off or not putting someone on. Probably done that 5 times in my career. So it's not a bad strike rate, but it doesn't make it any easier when you know you've got one wrong. And I had a couple of sleepless nights over it, or I have had a couple of sleepless nights over it. So, but the beauty of football is you're back in the mix again to prepare for another game. And you know, I wish the game was now. I wish we're kicking off in an hour.
Are you the sort of manager that does kind of, when you're lying in bed at night, still mulling all these different things over? Well,
about 10, 11 years ago, I came out of work when I was at Rochdale, and I was out of work for about pretty much the same time I was out of work this time. And I did a lot of self-help, read a lot of self-help books, tried to re-educate myself on my thinking process. And I had to do a lot of hard work in how I was going to conduct myself going forward, how I wasn't going to let negative thoughts impact on, 1, my managerial career, and 2, my life. It's not as easy as what you think. A lot of it's down to living in the moment and not dwelling on the past. But whereas I'd dwell on a result or a mistake for weeks on end, I quickly learned to park that negative thoughts and refocus on things that I could control. Now, I say quickly, it took me, you know, a good few months of reading, of quite highbrow reading that, you know, not really reading for pleasure, but reading to educate yourself. But it got me on a way of thinking, and it improved me mental health for sure. But it also, I think it also improved me as a manager, and it allowed me to focus on the things that were in my control and not dwell on the things that are out of my control. And I think it definitely improved me as a manager.
I guess as well, you've got your family and grandkids and that sort of thing as well to keep you away from the game when you're not there, sort of thing?
Well, I mean, I used to wind down with a game of golf after every match, and to try and ease the tension, like I play 9 holes on a Tuesday day before the game, or the Tuesday of a game. And I like to play on my own. I like, a little bit of solitude and, a little bit of self-thought. And as you say, your family can sidetrack you. But once you learn to refocus and you learn to not dismiss the things that you can't control, but not try to control them, not try to. Well, you can try and influence them, but not dwell if it goes against you, because certain things like classic example, refereeing decisions, linesman decisions, or assistant referee decisions, the opposition's decisions, the opposition's tactics. You can't control them, but you can react to them. You can be proactive to guard against them, and as long as you give it due thought, and you don't let it consume you, like it had in the past with me. Defeat had consumed me in the past. I can remember times when I'd come home from a game after we'd lost, particularly when we're at home, and I'd go straight to bed. I was that productive to anybody, certainly not your family, and certainly not you. And so that period out of the game for about 9 or 10 months really did me a lot of good. And I think my second spell as a manager, well, the results tell you that it was a lot better anyway. And I've got the fire in my belly now again, that I'm as hungry as ever. This will sound crazy, but I've missed the angst, on the 90 minutes. And as much as that was gut wrenching during night conceding when we did, to be part of the fight, that still gives me a thrill. And as I've said earlier on, when I first came, I think when that doesn't give me the thrill, I think it's time for me to, I think it's time for them to close the lid. So I think, I think if I don't have that thrill of the fight, I'd back in myself.
So how soon after Tuesday then were you thinking, right, park that, how are we going to beat Notts County?
Wednesday morning when I woke up. And I won't lie, I did think about the game a lot myself, and my own part I played in the game. But on Wednesday morning it wasn't hurting me. After Wednesday morning it wasn't hurting me. I was more thinking about, well, okay, what were the positives that we had of the game? What did I like about it? What did I not like about it? What can I try and use going forward into Notts County, and what can I try and change? And I think, if you look at just 3 aspects of what you're doing, so what are we doing right, and what have we got to keep doing? What have we got to stop doing? And what have we got to start doing? And if you can look at them 3 things, and be it an ongoing education process or fact-finding process, I think you'll generally improve your performance.
And you talked before about, obviously, most games are tough, and you do a lot of homework on the opposition. Notts County are potentially going to be a very different outfit, aren't they, to the last 2 that you played against?
Yeah, I think so. But you play against a lot of different teams over the years. But when you're a manager, you've probably pretty much encountered every style you're going to play, every pattern of play. And over the years, we've been quite good at adapting and making it uncomfortable for teams, particularly at home. And I wanted to be uncomfortable for Notts County when they come here on Saturday.
That very much, with the atmosphere that you've no doubt experienced at Priestfield as a visiting manager, something that you want to really start to make a fortress sort of phrase between now and the end of the season, but also make it uncomfortable.
Yeah, I want our fans to be part of the process. So I want our fans to be part of the so they feel as though they've contributed to the win. And they can do that by getting right behind the team, by being very, very vocal. Trying to, I mean, I know you're not going to get everybody who are going to be also positive, but try and get as many people as you can who are positive. You know, the first 20, 25 minutes against Doncaster was excellent. The crowd really got behind us, and I can fully understand. You know, we conceded a stupid goal, and it deflates the fans. I just plead with them to bear with us a little bit longer, and be that 12th man, you know, and it can make a big difference. And you could see in them first 20, 25 minutes against Doncaster how much they were struggling to keep up with the game. You know, we had to stranglehold on them, and lots of other people who are knowing the game have spoke to me about that game and said how much they were impressed with us in the first half, or the first 25 minutes till we conceded. And so if other people are telling you that, I think it probably is true. And so your perception might be a little bit slanted or biased, but if other people on the outside looking in are telling you that, then we've just got to build that up to maybe a bit longer momentum shifts in games so that we can pin teams in and hopefully score in them situations, because we had that such a big period against Grimsby and didn't finish the game off. You know, it does work a couple of times, but we didn't finish the game off like we should have done. And
Gills won at Notts County earlier on in the season, so possibility of doing the double over them, how much would it mean for you to get that win over, you know, a top team in the division?
I don't care who we beat as long as we win. I'm desperate for a win. But it is nice. I know as a player and a manager, it's nice to do the double over the team. And it would be in the back of their mind that they've lost to us as well. So bring it on.
Best of luck for it.
Thank you.
So that's about it. You know the Notts County manager well or not? He's had a similar sort of background to you. Done well in the non-league.
Yeah.
Chance in the league, hasn't he?
Yeah. I don't think he brought a team into the league though, did he? Yeah, he's done well. You know, come under a bit of pressure last year, and it's difficult when a club that size and the expectations that size. It's difficult to ride it out. So he's done well to do that, and he's got good players. And when you've got good players, you've got a good chance of being a successful manager.
But I think he's got a couple of players in double figures as well, goal scoring. I guess you'd love a bit of that here, wouldn't you? We would.
I don't know how many own goals we've scored, but that might be pushing up soon. Listen, everyone's got to try and contribute to scoring goals. We should attack as a team and defend as a team. We defended well as a team the other night. I'd like us to attack more as a team and maybe be more of a threat.
Do you have you given the players a target, a points target? Obviously,
we had a meeting on Friday, Saturday morning, sorry, and we looked at a realistic target, not like, you know, we've got to win every game, but a realistic target that we would be comfortable with saying, well, we've given our best shot, and you know, that'll stay between us. So.
Do you accept that it's a massive challenge, isn't it, now turning it around?
I don't think it's a massive chance to turn it round. There's good players here. You need a little bit of luck. That deserted us the other night. But the harder you work, the luckier you generally get. Not always, but the luckier you generally get. And I don't think it's. I think every task of being a football manager is difficult. And one of the big things is when you make new signings. You know, in most walks of life, you bring people in to do a job. Probably with an 80, 85%, 90% success rate, because you've gone through people's CVs, you've gone through a recruitment agency, and people generally do jobs that says on the tin. Football, that goes out the window. You know, some players cop for certain teams and don't for others. So recruitment is always a risk. And you'd have a recruitment department to try and eliminate as much of that risk as you can. So, yeah, every football job's a big job, but I don't think the task of trying to change it round is hard. I think, you know, a lot of League Two, similar moods, and they win some and then they go on losing ones, then they go on winning ones, and we've just got to get them on them winning ones.
You mentioned possibly bringing a couple in, hopefully by Monday. Does that mean that people are leaving? Don't people have to leave?
Some people will probably leave. And you know, we have got a lot of players up in the summer, so I think a few will have half a mind on that as well, but we've just got to try and get what we think is the best squad of players available to us to try and finish the season strong, wherever it takes us, and then be in a position to prepare well for next season.
And those young players that you threw in the other night, Sam and Joe, I mean, they really gave that effort that everyone wants to see.
I said I've never had any hesitation in putting young players in. I've always put my trust in young players. I think it's probably better when they come from the area. I think they can relate more to the home fans, and I think the home fans like that as well. But we won't put people in just because they're young. You know, they've got to be able to compete and they've got to be able to do a job, and both of them did a smashing job the other day, so I was really pleased with both of them.
How are you settling in Kent?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time here. You know, it's made it a lot easier because everybody is being so friendly at the club, so everyone's being so welcoming and so willing to help. And so that's good. And then, you know, moving into a place, me and Jimmy, we settled in that, and you know, we're not the type of people who want to go home or go back up north for big parts of the week and disrupt training and everything like that. No, you know, we're in it for the whole hog. So, you know, I managed to get home at the weekend, but I think I'll be here now for the foreseeable future, and that's the way it should be, in my opinion.
Has it surprised you what you found here?
I was surprised at how well the club was run, because I dipped in and out as a manager, and you know, I've been into the manager's office. I've been a bit to the stadium when I've got, believe it or not, I used to get lost when I was a poser man. I remember bumping into Paul Kelly once, and him sending me on a wild goose chase as well. And but I was surprised at how well the club is run, how well the structure of the club is run. And I think Brad and Shannon should take a lot of credit for the way they're trying to move the club forward. And you know, it helps me, or it will help me, to attract players to come here when I tell them, you know, what is available to them.
Will you be coming to work Tuesday morning when the window's shut and you know what they'll work with the rest of you?
If you'd have asked me that the last 7 windows, I couldn't wait for the windows to shut because I was only losing players. Probably different now. I think everybody is glad when all the fuss is over. And the unfortunate thing now is that I don't know whether it's the exposure of football to TV now, but everyone wants to make it a drama on the last day and rushing round at 10 o'clock, and I'm sure we'll be the same. Not by design. I'd just sooner all my work done on Sunday. But I think it'll be going right to the wire because other clubs force you down that path, not so much yourself. And you just have to play the game. And it can get stressful that Monday. I go back to my previous windows. I used to go and play golf and turn my phone off and hope that they hadn't done anything. I don't think that's going to be the case now.
Has it almost proved a point to yourself, the fans' reaction after your admission about what you did on Tuesday night?
I haven't seen what the fans' reaction is, so I don't do social media, you see.
It's saying there isn't a dissenting voice amongst them. They think they thought so much more of you just by coming out and saying what you said.
Well, I just believe in being honest. So, you know, too many people, and I've watched some managers. I don't really like watching other managers post-matches or pre-matches, but some people send me them and say, have a look at this, what's been said. I don't like sugarcoating things up. I don't like saying things that I don't believe. I like being honest. And, you know, I could easily be blaming somebody else if I thought it was right. At that time, I thought it was the right thing to do, and I think people respect honesty. And I'll always try and be that, you know. You don't know how much it pains me when you say, what are you expecting from these on Saturday, and I've got to churn out the same thing. It's going to be a tough game. The fact of the matter is, it is going to be tough, but it just sounds as though and I know we've all got a job to do, and we've all got to analyse this game and preview this game. But it just becomes like Groundhog Day, because it's the same thing over and over again. It's just how much we can get ourselves up for the game. Hopefully ride that bit of luck and get a little bit of quality to go and get what we're all craving at the moment, which is a win.
Another early kick?
Yeah, well, it's my second home game and there's been both been early kick-ups. So I'm wondering what it's going to be like at 3 o'clock at the Priestfield at home instead of 12:30.
Good luck, mate.
Thank you.